Hi, this is Brian Russell and Walking and Talking Spirituality. Thanks for taking a walk with me. Just made some big changes, and now I'm just curious to see how that unfolds. After 9 years, I'm stepping down as an academic dean. I'll continue teaching and looking forward to continuing and growing my coaching practice and ministry. And what's fun is when you make a big decision, you always think that's going to be the thing that just opens up the future. And I think time-wise this is going to be good, but when I was expecting to have this, wow, I'm done and I've moved this piece out of my life that I wasn't excited about anymore. But the fascinating thing, and this can often be true, is there was like a temporary, wow, this is great, but then essentially the motions on the inside, everything just kind of goes back to normal, which reminds me of the critical nature of the things that I try to talk about in these videos, which is our spiritual practices, our daily rhythms that are fueling us long game. And it's a reminder, I'm trying to see this as a good thing. It's like I don't think I ever let my identity, or at least for the last couple of years, get sucked in. Wow, I'm a dean and an associate provost. I know a lot of folks, when they would introduce me, would want to always say that, but I've tried really hard to practice what I preach and to see myself primarily as a person loved by God, and allow that to flow into whatever role that I'm in. That question that I like to go back to is, who am I apart from the roles that I play and apart from the experiences that I've had? And how would you answer that? Well, we're loved by God. We're God's beloved. And wherever we find ourselves, we can always live out of that. I got to hear my daughter's commencement speech, or my daughter graduated this past weekend, and Dr. Kevin Brown at Asbury University gave an absolutely tremendous talk that reminded me of this identity piece. If we get that identity right, and he didn't make this connection, so I'm adding it to his speech, but he basically told everybody that graduated, if you want to always find a place in this world, do what others can't and go where others won't. Do what others can't, go where others won't. That came from a commencement address years ago at a place. I couldn't write it and have notes, so I wasn't able to write it down, but he began and ended his commencement address with that: do what others can't, go where others won't. And friends, that's how I want to live my life. But you live that not out of a role that you have. You live that out of your identity and connection to the love of God and Jesus Christ and the power of the Spirit. So where are you at today? Maybe you haven't resigned a position, but what's your real identity? Can you separate your roles from your identity? I'd love to talk about that with you. If that's a struggle in your life, or you want to have a spiritual conversation, deepdivespirituality@gmail.com. If you're interested in my group coaching that I have set up for pastors and spiritual leaders, go check out some information at deepdivespirituality.com. Till next time, live by faith, be known by love, be a voice of hope to others.